Hi, hello guys. Today I'm gonna be talking about, you read the title. Because, yes, let's be super freaking honest. Banana Eats is kind of dead. I'm not even surprised if it doesn't get views. Maybe Rice is just funny as me. Anyways, yes, I have not a skin concept, not a game mode concept, or even a server concept. I have a role concept. If I had to give criticism to this game, it would probably be the fact that it's extremely repetitive and bland with his gameplay. Sure, one banana and like 9 people, but that's all. That's all it is. Some goofy fruit goes to eat people in various locations, and for some reason, doing puzzles will make a timer go down. I mean, I love this game. And although I admit that I only played this game for about 4 months when it first came out, and then kind of didn't play anymore, I did play pack blocks. Uh, yeah, pretty commonly if that counts though. I originally came back just like last week for the sake of old times, but then just like my past self, I got obsessed with it pretty quickly. So I wondered, hey, can there be something besides one or two fruits worth this 9 Robloxians that are usually drooling children behind a screen? So, onto the concept. And after the concept, I'll give my personal headcanons and lore. So to give an idea of what it's like, this role would be a role that could benefit both existing roles. A role that could either help the runners escape or help the banana get everyone. What do I call this role, you may ask? Well, I call it, and name's still work in progress, the half-banana. No, unfortunately, I am not joking. I can't find a better punny name as of now. The gameplay for this role will be very simple yet difficult. The player would be immune to the banana. Sounds overpowered at first, but there's a catch. The banana always sees you. A yellow outline would always be around you on the banana screen, and when everyone tries to use that one power-up, you'll be put on too. Now, if you do absolutely nothing the entire time, not contributing to anything, you will not be allowed to escape and will be given an amount of coins lower than average. But if you do puzzles, that's where the challenge begins. See, the moment you even attempt to do a puzzle, the banana, still being able to see you, will be notified that you are a traitor and you are now killable. And now being able to escape, if done successfully, you get around double what you would usually get as a regular player. Yeah! That's the concept of it. And by the way, it's not called half banana because it's half a banana. It's a thing you saw in the thumbnail. Yeah, half human, half a banana. Now I'll tell you why and logically how this thing would exist in the lore section of this video, but we'll get to that later. Right now, the player's avatar should be changed to either the banana skin color palette, or if you want to obviously be more marketable and torture your players more version, you have to buy the skins, which honestly, I wouldn't like that. I think having to already grind hours and hours of just one skin is enough, so I feel like being able to always match with the banana skin is a lot better. I'm literally saving up for the burrito, and even after like 12 hours of playing, I'm only at 5k. Please make grinding easier, Rice Citrus. I beg of you, it's genuine torture. Okay, anyways, speaking of skins, here's some that I thought of. Only 3 though. Ender, because of old times. LOL, my current skin. And Burrito, my dream skin. The default skin will look like this though. I also think this role should have their own custom walk animation, so it would be easier to tell who's who. One thing that would be cool is that they would have no beacons. Instead, their eyes would glow to the color of the banana's eyes as their own beacon. Accessories are closed eyes, which just glow to that color anyways. I almost forgot to mention, this role would only appear if there are 7 plus runners, or it would probably be unfair. Me personally, I would love this idea, especially for playing with friends. It's either you're working a team to do nothing with significantly less earnings, basically saying teaming is bad, or taking a much more difficult route for double the rewards. The skins will be all unique in their own ways and probably a lot more fun. Now, onto my headcanons. I think I've had enough talking about the mechanics. It's time for the lore! Perhaps my fellow theorists here will be proud of me, I don't know. I apologize in advance if Citrus has already confirmed things. I quite literally just came back to this game and I could be totally wrong about this, but bear with me in my imagination, okay? Great. Right after the bat, this game is a mystery. I checked the wiki and I figured the best place to go from there were the maps, because usually people would have gallery pictures or perhaps notes or lore or something like that. But after scrolling through the entire thing, I saw nothing. Heck, even the writers sounded like they were questioning what was going on. If you've seen the wiki, you'll know what I mean. Mostly in the gallery descriptions, there'll be some question marks, and that gave me the signs to do a little bit of imagining. So, from what we can see, every map seems to have banana mush, gooey stuff, whatever you want to call it. It's disgusting. But based off the plot and the goals of the game, it feels like if Love and Monsters, the Planet of the Apes franchise, and a bunch of fruits had a baby. I mean, it fits perfectly. Considering that there are humans running from bananas, what I can assume happened was that either some world-wrecking disaster happened that caused all bananas in the wild to mutate and become these large creatures, or if this was a mere science experiment, or it got worse from there. I personally believe the first one more though, and the fact it's not just bananas, all the skins in the shop imply that other fruits have gotten mutated too, and other foods too. Dang, it's gonna be a bad disaster, huh? I personally think that these fruits cannot speak. You may be saying right now, yeah, duh, the best moon ever. You think these guys can talk? Yeah, I get it, stating the obvious, but you underestimate my ability to elongate a topic. I don't think they can speak any human language. They most likely use their own, and I don't know what that would sound like. I mean, judging by Banana Manor, and according to the wiki, it's quote-unquote basically the banana's home or something along the lines of that. I say this might be inspired by POTA is because I believe these fruits and foods have built a community and have basically taken over the world by now, and just like humans did to them, are using humans as a food source. What else would they eat? I don't know. Probably cake. Now, I think the whole reason this game takes place the way it does is probably because when everything had just started, everyone who could replaced public building doors with those heavy metal doors that we escaped through. But obviously this backfired because the bananas most likely broke in and claimed the areas as theirs. The puzzles were probably a security thing, so us, most likely the players are attempting to hide, have to solve them to let these heavy duty doors open. That's all I can say for the backstory of this world, but there's one thing that's pretty overlooked by everyone: the beacons. The beacons in the game are basically our banana radar. The closer we are, the brighter it glows, but lore-wise, how do we even acquire these? Because clearly, we didn't have these things ready just in case an unseen banana disaster happens. We have to be the main characters in the story. There are two possibilities I can think of. One, these are banana children that we kind of just kidnapped and strapped to our backs, or the more boring path, it's a robot. How it detects the banana? Probably by radioactivity. Then it led me deeper. If these are bananas' kids, how are they even made? No, I do not think it like that. I believe that all these peels that we see on the ground are its cocoons, sort of, already hatched and just lying there. They would hang on the ceiling until it falls when it's ready and probably just exist after that. They would most likely be made with the banana seeds like normal fruit reproduction. I know what you're thinking, you freak. Silence with you. So, I basically explained everything I can about the game lore. How about the way this concept will work with the half bananas? Well, don't worry, I have a lot in store for y'all. Even if that y'all is just one person, I really don't care. So here we are. What is a half banana? Is it human? Is it a fruit? Well, it's a hybrid, as I mentioned earlier. It looks like a human, but has inhuman characteristics that just don't add up. The fruit side shows more with the personality, and although each half banana would be a bit different in preferences, most lack complex human emotions and morality. I have lore for the default skin, and that specific one has legitimately no emotion beside extremely basic ones. It cannot understand sadness, love, basic morality, and emotions that go to the extremes such as rage, excitement, depression, and anxiety. It can understand joy, fear, anger, disgust, confusion, and embarrassment, however. It also speaks very broken English, although other variants would have better or worse skills than the default. Think of the default skill level at someone going to a different country with Google Translate. Because of that, it barely speaks at all. It can understand the fruit language very fluently though. The half banana was created in a very grim way. The first one, the default one, was made when 2 survivors had a fight to the death, and the one who lost died on an already fallen banana cocoon, letting the cocoon take the needed extra nutrients and DNA to create that. Soon enough, this revelation across humans made more people try it, and thus more and more variants came to be. However, they had to stop doing it because they soon found out that the bananas would treat those halves like family and thus were very protective of them. This could also explain how in the game the bananas can always see the halves, and also making the discovery that due to a lack of morality, they can easily commit unspeakable crimes without flinching. These cause humans to stay away from these things at all costs. They are not immortal, however. Their lifespan is shorter than a human, but obviously longer than a banana's, 50 years max. When I say they treat the halves like family, I mean as siblings. I personally headcanon the default banana at around 25 years if it was human, so I can see it having a younger sibling, even if it means the sibling vaguely resembles something it hates. Honestly, in the lore, I just like to think that the bananas will do this. LOL. Please, that took me an hour to make. Please like me, man. That took an entire hour to make. That was so painful. And I'm not using a script right now. Yeah, I personally think that they would 100% be like siblings, as someone who doesn't know what siblings are, because I don't have any siblings. Okay, I'll shut up now. Okay, back to my script itself. When I first made this concept, I made some facts, so here they are. The default one likes Pokemon, and it specifically likes Togedemaru. Second, it, and other variations obviously, do get hungry, but it's usually just for cake. So I suppose a funny thing you could do to help the banana in-game is to just eat the slices. Then it likes lo-fi music, and the species in general barely sleeps, aka 1 to 2 hours every day. Then, going a bit darker, all of them use it pronouns because humans do not want to humanize it, instead dehumanizing them to become nothing but animals or something lower. Then I also think that the evil's voice half would be possibly one of the first halves to exist after the default, making the half hate humanity for simply creating it as nothing but an experiment. Now, I'm not using a script anymore. Thank you so much for listening to all of this. God, this was hell to record. I have school. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest, but I was too excited. Rye Citrus, if you ever see this, please consider this. I beg of you. I have been obsessed with this over for days. I probably sound insane, because I am insane, but if you do notice from the amount of times I will be tagging you in this video, just at least thank you for looking at it, even if you don't add it anyways. My MatPat senses came in, yeah. Actually, in reality, all this gaming recording, there's still like 6 minutes left. I'm not gonna yap for 6 minutes, obviously, but on the top of my head, from what I can get from how tired I am right now, I think that's all I can say about this concept. I really hope this would at least get somewhat considered. I really am trying. I don't think it's actually gonna get noticed, but it's worth a shot, and I also need something for my channel in the first place. Thank you so much, and I will probably comment anything I forget in the comment section if it doesn't flag it for kids. You know what? I'll just say this if it doesn't flag for kids. Guns, 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 guns. I'm gonna. Wait, no, I can't say that. I'm gonna shoot people or something. Wait, actually, no. I don't want to flag for violence. I just want to say that. This is not for kids. YouTube, please do not flag it as that. I need comments. Yeah, but consider adding that. Okay, thanks, bye. Love you platonically or something. Yo, please subscribe.